I wanted to take a video of this 96-gallon BOWFRONT that we have. And if you're a fish keeper, you can tell there's something massively seriously wrong with this aquarium. Which, if you've seen any of our other videos with this tank in it, my tanks are pretty much always clear. But what I want to kind of do in this video is be real with people. You're going to have equipment breakdowns in this hobby if you keep them long enough, exotic enough, big enough species, enough equipment. It's like anything in life. You're going to have breakdowns. You're going to have to know how to clean things up. It's just kind of the way that it is as you advance through the hobby. What had happened here is we had a filter go down on the one side, and this tank is as heavily stocked that's as you could get, basically, for this size. We'd had a debate over the goldfish in the tank there, right? Which I am adamantly opposed to that as an aquarium fish keeper. However, there's a kid involved who likes these fish, so they've got to stay. We're going to look for adoptive homes, and that is one of the problems here. If you look, goldfish are not compatible in this kind of a tank. Not long term. As they get bigger and bigger, they just eat and they crap more than about any fish on the planet, I think. Even the Oscar is a clean fish compared to those fish. So what happened is this went down. One of the Emperor 350, the impeller went out. I can replace the impeller. However, I went down to one of our favorite stores, which is Discount Aquarium, and ran into a Fluwell 306 that was in their used section for 75 bucks, which is a pretty good sized deal. It's not quite big enough for this tank on its own. It's rated at about 70 gallons or so. But I figured, hey, for 75 bucks, we'll go with the Fluwell route. Now, I don't like canister filters as much as hang-on back filters. Everybody's can debate this. Are they a better filter for cleaner water? Absolutely. You can pack media material in those things. I mean, they're phenomenal. I mean, my personal opinion, the water that comes out of the end of that return is cleaner than what comes out of the hang on the back, the Emperor 400 that's sitting here. All right. However, there's one major liability to these, and everybody knows what it is, and that's dumping a 100-gallon tank when inevitably some seals, O-rings, things will fail at some point. You will have a leak if you have the filter long enough. It's just kind of, maybe you get lucky and you're one of the people that doesn't. But we picked this one up used, and I plugged it in, and right here, and we got about 5 gallons of water on the floor to prove it, if not 10. And clean that up. Now the cool thing is I got this from Discount Aquarium, and they're really, really good. He apologized and said, normally we flow test them, but sometimes they make their way out, and they haven't been. So he's going to go ahead and swap it out tomorrow. But right now I dug out a couple old hang on the back filters to put up on this side, and we'll get them through the night. They're not going to die off in here. Long term, obviously. And I put some ammonia neutralizer in there, some C-Chem stuff that I have, and we'll work on getting it cleaned up. But this is what happens when you have a equipment filtration fail and you have a fully stocked tank with big fish that crap a lot and that are pretty dirty. And there's Tess the Dempsey. Beautiful Jack Dempsey. It's one of the bigger ones I've ever seen, actually. I mean, that's a big fish, even compared to the Oscar. He's a decent sized fish right there. And there's Rambo. Yep. So we'll get her fixed up, and I just kind of wanted to show people, you will end up with, it might not be this, it might be a leaking fish tank, it's something you are going to have obstacles in the hobby, or, there's not much of a challenge. Sometimes it's aggressive fish that won't coexist with each other. That's one of the reasons this Shibukin's in here, actually, is a dither fish, which I'll do a video on aggressive species and how you use dither fish. And that's a strategy with something as aggressive as a Jack Dempsey, and then Rambo is no slouch either. So they seem to do fairly well. Rambo is actually a female, and Tess here is actually a male. So maybe that's why they're coexisting a little, but this dither fish, he does his job. And we'll get into that in another video. But we'll keep you updated as we fix it. I'll get to the upgraded filter tomorrow. And we'll probably do about a 30% water change. I'm not a big fan of the 50s or the big massive water change. I'll do about a 30%er. Wait for a day for about 36 hours or so. Then I'll do another 30% until we get it to where we want it, and then change all the filtration out and start with fresh media, and we'll be good to go.